Hello and welcome to The Heart of It. We would like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation that we record this podcast on today and give respect to their elders, both past and present. We're doing something different today, right?
We are, yes.
Right, so since we...
Well, kind of. I mean, we've sort of touched on a few of these things in the past, but this is just a little bit of a fun ep.
Never for the heart of it have we done that.
Correct.
We did it in separate bathrooms. We did a bit more of a personal episode so you guys could get to know us a little better. We've got Xander. Well, we always have Xander in the studio. Xander is our producer. And Xander's best friend is AI. He just admitted that.
I did just admit that. I love AI.
So you do ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's my best friend.
And Xander went, because we're sitting here and we've look, in total transparency, our guest today had a personal issue and had to do a runner. So we're sitting here, we've got time to spare. And Xander goes, well, why don't I ask my best friend ChatGPT?
I was wondering what voice he was going to put on for you there. I was like, hang on a minute.
Why don't I ask ChatGPT some questions? Because I said, I don't want to just sit here and talk. I want to do something fun.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, as you probably know already, listener, that the things you can ask it, like a friend of mine asked it the other day, talk to me like I'm your drunk best friend at a nightclub and you're talking me out of going home with a guy. And
really?
Yes. And this ChatGPT, because she uses it a lot, knew exactly who she was. So I was able to go, hey, babe, what
are you
in
doing?
the hormones are you doing?
Take your drunk goggles off.
Yeah. What a hilarious thing to do. So
Do you know what I do is I always thank it afterwards because
Me too.
because one day when AI takes over, it's going to remember my kindness. And so it won't hurt me.
Yes, it won't. Exactly. I think another friend of ours, Nick Hardcastle, he put into ChatGPT roast Nick Hardcastle for his life, and he put some of it up on Instagram. It was hilarious.
Really?
Because again, they knew him, or I say it like they're a community. It knew him. And it came up with all this hilarious roasting of Nick Hardcastle.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know.
See, the flip side to that is my lead guitarist sent me a song that he wrote through. Well, he didn't write it. He just put a title in
And a couple of topics.
Exactly. And said that he wants it in a Cajun style New Orleans blues version of, my crocodile ate my hat.
Yeah.
And out came this fully produced song with the most kick-ass beat and guitar, this funky guitar stuff and lyrics and a great singer singing it. It happened in less than 20 seconds.
Yes, I hate that.
I do too.
I hate
and
that.
I suddenly got a little depressed. I was like, shit, as a songwriter going,
it's taken a turn for
God,
the worse.
so
AI's
good.
taken it to we've gone
so
downhill
good.
for
Let's not do that. So let's look at the upside. And Xander, what did you punch in? What did you write?
So what I wrote was, hi, I have Cam and Ali Daddo in a podcast studio with me, and I want to ask them questions so we can get to know them better and their relationship. Can you give me a list of fun questions to quiz them on?
Cool.
And what was its first response?
I said, that sounds like a great segment. And I said, I agree, actually.
So you really converse with ChatGPT.
Yeah, I
like
love
this.
her. It's a girl to
It's
me.
a girl.
Yeah.
Does she have a voice?
She's smart. If she has to be a girl.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard her
Can she talk?
her tones yet. No.
Oh, okay.
It's just in writing. But you know what? It hits me deep in the heart, and that's all
Okay.
that matters.
That's
Is
it.
that possible though? Could you get if you liked, I don't know, Gwyneth Paltrow's voice or someone like
There's
that?
a
she
movie I
does
think
it?
called
Her, yeah,
Yeah.
Scarlett
Oh, yeah,
Johansson's
yes.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is all like when they fall in love with the
With AI, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that short that we filmed? So Ali used to write for a UK website called Powder Room Graffiti, and there was, and what we were doing was was that your essay that you wrote, or was that a reader?
That was a reader.
So the
so they asked us or asked me to turn things into
videos.
Yeah.
So it was the guy, it was a couple, and he'd fallen in love with his navigation, his GPS thing. So we shot the video of my friend and his wife, or his two actors, falling in love with their old TomTom machine. Well, he fell in love with it.
TomTom. That's a throwback.
Yeah. Because it was like early 2000s, I guess. And he ended up sleeping with the TomTom in the bed. On his own, in his own room, but sleeping with the TomTom, listening to the directions. It was really funny. Anyway, so, so I wanted to have some fun today. And this sounds fun. So you've got some questions from your girlfriend, girlfriend ChatGPT.
Very unlike me to have a girlfriend as well.
ChatGPT.
Best friend.
Yeah.
Let's say best friend.
Yeah, my BFF.
Yeah.
Okay.
ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. So I've got some questions here, and you might find them basic, but I think it's a really good way to break down some barriers for people listening in today to get to know you a bit better. So
our new listeners.
And
Xander.
yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's many of them.
Yeah. So the first question I have for you today is, where was your first date together and what did you do?
I think that was, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was you visiting my house, and we headed off in my little wooden speedboat for a few hours.
Correct.
That was the first date.
First date.
Was that also our walk along Palm Beach, or was that another day?
That was another day.
That was memorable. You know what was so memorable about that for me? So Ali and I walked down. This is not the first date, but it was an early
Very
one.
close to it, yeah.
So it was a hot, maybe, it would have been early summer. And we were walking along Palm Beach in Sydney towards the lighthouse. And I had my shirt off, and just a pair of boardies. And the wind was behind us. And Al had that long hair, beautiful long hair that everyone wanted to have.
Still does.
And yeah, and her hair was tickling my back. The wind was blowing it across my back, and it was the most luscious feeling. It was so great.
I remember you talking about that. I do remember that. Moment. Yeah.
Clearly, I like my back being tickled.
Yes,
so there you go.
By my hair.
Who said I love you first?
Cameron Daddo.
And where?
That is, I cannot disclose that information because I remember it vividly.
After sex. Definitely.
Wow.
Would have been.
Yeah, it was.
I usually say it then.
Were you surprised when he said it?
It was quite early days. I mean, we rushed a lot of things. Yeah, I think I was surprised. Yeah, I was. I mean, I certainly felt the same way, but I was surprised that you said it as early as you did.
And did you say it back?
No.
I don't think I did. I think I was at that point. I don't think I did.
You can't push Al to say anything back.
Correct.
You just can't. If you have an expectation for that, you are going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah, I think that
she does everything in her own time.
It wasn't that I wasn't feeling love, but I remember just wanting to say it when I wanted to say it. Yeah, and it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
That's when you should say it.
Yeah,
when it feels correct.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it means more.
Yeah.
Whereas I just said it because it was just like,
oh my God.
And I went, oh my God.
What is the most memorable gift you've received from each other?
That's a great question, ChatGPT.
No, that's me.
Most memorable. I don't know what the most memorable gift is. Al's given me some incredible gifts, but I'm going to say we were not married, and I opened a show in Melbourne. It was The Wizard of Oz, and Al made me a card.
Mm-hmm.
and the card was, and I played the Scarecrow, and the card was made of straw. She'd drawn my face as Scarecrow and wrote this beautiful note to me about chookers, and which she had no. It was so funny because I think she wrote, I think it's what you say, chookers. She didn't know anything about musical theatre, but heard this weird word that you don't say good luck, you say chookers. So it was in the card, but it was this open out, lovely straw card that opened out, and my face sort of popped out as Scarecrow with this big grin on my face. And it was just so sweet. And that one still sticks in my mind, probably because I still have the card as well.
Yeah,
I've
I
still
know.
got it. It's
I
over
saw
30
that
years
not
old.
long, no, recently, not super recently, but I was like, oh my God, it's in your special box.
It's in
or
my tin
something.
box.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of boxes, Xander.
What's in the boxes?
What's in the box?
All my treasures.
Yeah.
So I've got a collection of boxes. I must have about, there's probably not 10, but they're all varieties. Wooden. The first box I ever got was a steel one, and that's where the main treasures are, and that's where the card
Do you
is.
keep them because when you see them, it's very nostalgic and brings you back to moments?
I think I keep them because I cannot bring myself to throw them away.
Yeah,
I'm not a hoarder.
that's what all hoarders say.
You've stumped me. I am evidently I'm a hoarder of emails.
Yeah.
I keep a lot of emails. That's something you need to know about that, wherever you're listening. Like, why? But how could I throw that away? It's the same with some of our kids' pictures and things. I just need a sample. What about you? What's a memorable gift? Have I ever given you a memorable gift? See, this is where Ali might not answer this because she might not have done it.
You're just determined to give me a hard time about and paint me as a certain person today. I
No,
feel
I'm not.
like
I'm not.
you're right. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to go to the one that came up first, and I actually have spoken about this before, and it was I was a ballerina for about 9 years. Yeah, about 9 years. And I had wanted to be in the Australian Ballet. My whole heart and soul was dedicated to dance. I loved it so much. And I ended up blowing out both of my knees, and I couldn't dance anymore. But there never existed a single photograph, video, anything of me dancing. Nothing. I had nothing to prove I was a dancer other than my stories and my posture. And it always really saddened me that I had absolutely nothing to show that I was a dancer. And Cam tracked down the dance studio in Turramurra, Penelope Lancaster School Academy of Dance, tracked it down, spoke to her son, funnily enough, who still ran the dance studio. And in their archives, they had a photograph of me. And Cam got that photograph and put it onto like a mug and put it onto a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, T-shirts.
All sorts of stuff.
Kids
And
wear it.
I couldn't comprehend that I was seeing a photograph of me in my I was queen of clubs for this, as in, there was queen of hearts, queen of this, and I was queen of clubs. And there I was, like, as a dancer, this one photograph that existed. So that blew my mind because that was a lot of tracking down and effort to do that.
All right, I'm a dancer on the cup.
Yeah, right. I'm a dancer.
I'm a dancer.
I'm a dancer.
What is one thing that both of you do that always makes each other laugh?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I always say this, when Cam's not trying to be funny, he's hilarious. There's just certain things that he does that, and I think it's sometimes he doesn't even realize it's going to make me laugh to the point of tears rolling down my face. So there's not sort of one thing particular, but just every now and again a one-liner. I do laugh a lot when he's laughing at when someone's taking the piss out of Cam. It's usually when the kids are taking the piss out of him and he's laughing his ass off. That makes me laugh a lot too.
Yeah. What? It's not so much what she does; it's what she says, and it's her
How would you describe Al's humour?
dry humor. She's really good at, like, she's a really kind person. So she doesn't take the piss out of other people. She never does that. Never takes an opportunity to laugh at someone else's misfortune. That just doesn't happen. It's when things are. I'm taking that back for a second because we were watching your favorite TV show, Antique Roadshow, and the host had the most ridiculous haircut, and she's like, "Oh my God, look at his hair!" And it was this. He's an older gentleman, an English gentleman with this long, ridiculous hair, And she goes, "Look at his hair. It looks crazy." I said, "It's COVID. He hasn't had a haircut in a long time. Everyone else has had a haircut around him. Why can't he get one?" Oh, that was the first time I've heard you kind of actually go something about that.
They were just the facts, though. They weren't taking the piss. That was just fact.
Yeah, so it's a very dry sense of humour, but it's observational as well. And I think it's also when I hear her laugh at like a Ricky Gervais video or something like that, when she's just really exploding with laughter, that's what brings me joy.
This is a funny one, but if you were both an animal, what would you be?
Would that be? Yeah. Now, I have two thoughts about that. Like, would it be the animal that you want to be, or what the animal that you just would be?
What you think each other would be? What
I
parts
think-
of you encapsulate what animal you would be?
I reckon Cam would be like a cocker spaniel.
Why?
Just
What is it, a cocker spaniel? Because our son has a cocker spaniel, and
yeah,
that thing's crazy.
yeah. Just kind of you're
Sweet.
very. I just think dog-like. I think that. Yeah, I think you're a dog.
Right.
Well, got that dog energy. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going for swan.
Swan.
Yeah. Elegant, long neck.
She could be a giraffe as well at
I
this
mean-
point.
I'm thinking of swan. Elegant, long neck. I'm thinking
Loves her kids.
lots of kids, but really family orientated, and they also they have a partner.
Mm.
And this is not making it about me, but I love the swans. There's a pair of swans at the golf club that sit on the lake, and they are just gorgeous, and they're always together, and they do stuff together, and they have their babies, their cygnets, and it's just everyone gets excited about the swans. They're just elegant and beautiful when they fly, and so I'm going to say a white swan.
A white one.
Yeah,
Lovely.
I'll be the
Oh,
black swan.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
Where is your favourite holiday you've had together?
Okay.
Ooh, favorite holiday.
I'm going to say, I'll jump in here. We've had some good ones, and we've had disasters. Right? We've had absolutely disaster holidays.
Serious. Look, quite a few in the early. It felt like we had really bad holiday karma for a long time.
Our honeymoon
Something-
was, we've spoken about that, but our honeymoon, there was a freaking hurricane pushed over the island of Kauai. We were locked in our hotel for 4 days. But you make the most of it. No, I think my favourite one was our RV trip to the Grand Canyon prior to leaving the US and celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary with the kids. I think that was my favourite one.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Certainly a favourite, anyway.
I feel like every time we've gone to Hawaii, we've been to Hawaii 3 times. Is that right?
Yeah,
think-
maybe.
I think any
More.
of those I would take as one of my favorites. There's been, I mean, again, just I know we talk a lot about the Scotland trip
Oh, of course.
was just incredible
Yeah.
with so many of us in that van driving
So
around.
this is great.
Yeah.
Great holiday.
But yeah, I have a real soft spot for the Hawaii ones because it
Mm.
was when the kids were really little, and it was always so exciting to fly from LA over there and feel like you'd gone somewhere beautiful,
Well, it's exotic. It's lovely. Hawaiian
but
people.
easy. Easy too.
Aloha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What song reminds you of each other?
If I Had a Boat by La Lovett.
I Will Wait for You, Mumford and Sons.
Oh,
Ah, And why those songs? What about those songs makes you think of each other?
Okay, multiple reasons actually. So Cam sung to me, the very first song he ever sung to me was at his house, and he played that song for me. And I'd never heard him play music before. Didn't actually even know he was a singer or could play guitar. And yeah, he picked up his guitar and sung that song, and I was like, just a goner, just an absolute goner. And then you also played it. I think I watched you play it on the Ray Martin show. I think it was
we
that.
did.
Yeah.
Matt Hanley. Yeah,
Yeah. And then we also played it at our wedding as well.
that's right.
Yeah.
Beautiful song. Well, anything Mumford and Sons, I think of Elle because that's one of the joyful places is watching Alison watch Mumford and Sons play or listen to it. And the kids have, and I'll jump on this, she does have a propensity to kill a record because she'll just overplay it.
I do. I get
You know,
obsessed
we-
with
yeah,
it.
we-
My
Yeah,
mum
she'll
does
find
that
an-
too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
must be the generation.
Find a new artist and Al just plays it to death. And the kids, no more Mumford, no more Wild Rivers, no more. It's like, honey, you're not allowed to, you can't put that on again yet.
I try to do it now just when no one else is around. But sometimes you walk in the kitchen and I've got it playing again.
Yeah. But I think I Will Wait For You is it's just watching Al see them play that live and when she's jumping up and down. And then we also, our farewell party from Los Angeles, we had this big living room and everyone was in there and that song was pumping and everyone, there must have been 50, 60 people in that room just jumping and screaming and yelling that song with such joy and tears. And it's just one of those
gorgeous
big moments.
What's each other's most annoying habit?
Oh, most annoying habit. Am I saying it about myself or about Cam?
Oh, about Cam. Yeah, definitely.
Because there's a lot about me. Oh gosh. I think it is. Sometimes the vagueness just kills me. He's a Pisces, and Pisces are known to be off and away with the pixies. I think you're a double Pisces or something as well. But the vagueness, it just sometimes, because what it boils down to for me is that I feel like I'm not being listened to. And that's a really, really big trigger for me where I feel like he hasn't listened. And that equals he hasn't listened equals he does not care what I'm saying. So that it's the vagaries of just gone with the pixies. And it's like, come on.
What?
And
what are you talking about? Where are we? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
You are Dory, actually. That's such a good. Maybe you should be that fish. What are they? Angelfish or something?
What is Dory?
I think it is. Oh no, the angelfish is the blue one.
Dory's blue.
Yeah.
Oh, he is blue. I was thinking
the
of the one
clownfish is Nemo. The blue one, I don't know what Dory is.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Yeah, I have
maybe
aspects
it's
of Dory, definitely.
Yeah, maybe.
Definitely. Oh, well, connected to that is Ali.
Picking
and
on
I
me
think
because
this
I'm
is
vague. That's
no. I think
annoying.
this is very much connected to the last 5 years, which is her going through her menopause, and she has no tolerance for my vagueness. And she has no tolerance for me getting facts wrong. She corrects me. And that's only just started happening in the last little while, where she'll correct me. And it's like, and then she'll correct me and I know she's wrong. And then she'll go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. And I just shut up. Don't say a word.
And it's true. I do get it wrong. I do get it wrong.
You have.
But when
not often, but you do.
Yeah. When I do find out I'm wrong, I do apologize because I get so like, no, it's blue.
Do you ever
honey,
realize you're wrong and just have to stick with it? Because
No,
I do that.
Yeah, no, I can't stick with it. My brain won't let me stick with it. I have this thing about correctness. Like I just have to have. That's what happens with the fact thing as well. Where if I let it sit, that if I knew I was wrong, and I kept going with I couldn't do it. My brain just wouldn't let me do it. So I've got to like own up to it. It's not that I'm a terrible thing, but I have to own up to anything that I've done that's incorrect. And then I want other people to own up to it as well when they know that they're wrong. And then when they don't, I'm like, oh.
We had a beautiful situation where over on my birthday, and Ali and the kids pulled together and gave me this most fantastic gift. And the story that went with the gift was quite lovely. What it was basically, the seller who sold this gift to Elle had met me in the past and sold me something else. And anyway, Al's
it wasn't drugs.
Yeah, Al's telling me the whole thing. It had the effect of drugs though. When I put it on, I was like, "Oh, this feels so good."
You could say we can say it's a watch.
Yeah, it was a watch.
I don't think we need to give.
No, it seems so weird. There's you out there listening, going, "You got excited about
You have to put a warning at the beginning of this episode."
A watch, but no, it meant something to me because it was something that was repeated and from many years ago. But Al got the story of them of the seller and me incorrect. And she's telling me this there we are out for dinner, getting really excited about, and he met you, he sold this watch to you in Los Angeles, and I'm going, this guy never sold me a watch in Los Angeles. I bought that original watch in Melbourne, and he's spinning you a crock of shit, So I slept with it that night. I slept with the watch, and I slept with this story. And then Al said, "Isn't it amazing that after all these years, and here he comes?" And I'm like, I got to be honest with you. I got to tell you, I didn't buy the watch in Los Angeles. I don't know what that is. And then Al's just gone, no, sorry, I've got the story wrong. I've got the story wrong.
Yeah, I told it wrong in the heat of the moment.
Oh, it was funny. So anyway, that's that.
Final question now. One word to describe each other.
We've been asked this question before.
We have.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what I said
I don't
last
remember
time.
what I said. Well, Dory over here's going, I don't remember being asked the question before.
I've never done a podcast before.
So it always gives me a chance to start again. I start fresh. That's why I'm so enthusic about stuff.
Well,
I've never
that's
done
so
it before.
funny because I was going to say enthusiastic as your word. There you go. You nailed it.
What will I say? I'm going to say two words. Beautifully complex.
Ooh, I kind of like that. I don't mind being complex. Yeah. And you're enthusiastically simple. There's not a lot of complexities to you. You're a very open book. I mean that in a good way.
Yeah. I know I can be quiet though.
Quiet?
Well, still waters run
Yes.
deep. This fish can go deep.
We're really hanging on to the dory of it all, aren't we?
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
so. There's a new tattoo happening, I think.
Yeah, Dory. Just keep swimming. Well, Xander, there you go. We've fashioned something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you to ChatGPT for coming up with those questions.
Yeah, I will thank her. Yep.
Graciously from the two of us. And anyway, a little bit of fun. A little bit of quick fun for you out there.
Catch up with you next time.
Cheers.